and friends coming. Good evening. I'll start again. Welcome to Fiona, Furey and Friends, coming to you live from the Boca Creative Studio in Sea Point, Cape Town. I am so excited about tonight's show. 2 comedians and 1 superb opera singer who's such a beautiful voice that it actually makes me want to cry. It's so gorgeous. Let's start with Alan Committee.
Hey! More! Yes! Build to a mild, cacophonic state of euphoria.
Okay,
I do
Tony's
opera singing
Michael.
as well, by the way.
Sorry?
So it's all very well to isolate the 2 comedians as, 2 comedians and then do 10 minutes on the opera singer, who, by the way, is famous and delightful and brilliant. But I sing opera as well as...
I'd like you to sing my introduction. You should actually sing Fiona's introduction.
do you want
I'm
to
coming
mine?
to Fiona's introduction in a moment. I've prepared this over
Yes.
many hours.
I want you, can you hit it in an alto, tenor, whatever?
Did
It's in the
you
key of F. which
did
is
you
weird.
bring
It's a
your
good key. I
flip
did. I
chart,
always
though?
bring my...
Did you bring the flip
my
chart?
flip chart, no.
For
No.
Just
my
make sure that
introduction?
your intonation is like correct, because
Yes.
my ears are very sensitive.
Because Brittany's listening.
The intonation, eh? That's when many countries stay in one place. The intonation.
Okay, can I carry on with my intro?
Oh, yes, sorry, you're still... Oh, that's right, it's Fiona's show.
So, at the beginning, we have Alan Committee. Sitting beautiful in gorgeous pink in the middle is the spectacular Brittany Smith, who I'm so excited to chat to. And Vin Diesel!
Yay!
No, you started so many... You've started so many shows like that.
Look at
Jalen Oliver.
Thank you. I know Alan wants to comment. I can see.
I want to say South Africa's answer to Vin Diesel is Van Doorsel. It's a different thing,
Yes,
and he fits both
I
descriptions.
appreciate you. I travel with him to tell that joke.
Fun, that's from the box.
It is. It
Okay.
really is.
Okay.
Maybe
My
that's why
Afrikaans is terrible.
my family kept pointing and skinning.
Yes. A lot of the viewers won't see this, Alan, but before we started, a mom and a sister just kept going. But they're sitting right in front, so I can see everything they're doing, and I can see their lips saying. And they were saying that. They weren't actually saying any. They were going.
Yeah. It's an opera technique.
Yes.
It's a warm-up. It's a warm-up. Actually, Alan...
Is
since-
Fiona Furey really your name?
Yes.
Legit.
That's fantastic. It's kind of like a Marvel superheroine, isn't it?
Yes, I have been told that at a casting last week. Actually,
Nice.
Yeah.
one
Is
of the
it-
casting agents said it's like a Marvel character. It's like, well,
Well,
when
'cause
you are
it's-
casting
what's
for
name's-
Marvel,
Samuel L. Jackson's
Character.
surname is he's Fury.
He's
isn't it?
Fury,
Nick
yes.
Fury. Yeah.
And there's Tyson Fury
Tyson Fury.
and
Yeah.
Fiona Fury.
yes,
Yeah.
it's an Irish surname. It's an actual surname.
And you have alliteration. It's alliteration?
It's alliteration. sir.
Alliteration.
In your surname. That's
Yes,
amazing.
that's why I did Fiona Fury and Friends. 'cause
Yes.
it's
Yes, because
clever.
there's a lot of
The
alliteration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you must never have sakes at the end.
No,
FF sakes.
no, we can't do that. Listen, the reason I paired everybody up today
Right.
is because everybody's loosely got things in common. Alan, people always think of you, well, I always thought of you as a comedian, and then I saw a poster with you doing King Richard,
Right.
or Richard III.
Right.
And I was like, what?
What happened there?
What the?
Right.
Did you do King Lear?
I haven't.
Okay.
There are plans afoot to play Iago in Othello this very year.
Are you being serious?
I'm very
Where?
serious.
At Maynardville?
No, but we're under negotiation for the space at the
Oh,
moment.
that's fantastic.
Yeah,
You must let me know.
Ah.
I will.
Yeah.
Okay.
DM me.
I won't let you know before the end of this program.
No, of course.
Okay.
Do you need an opera singer?
Do you need?
I have been in The Merry Widow twice.
I was.
Oh, wow.
Yes, playing
Getting-
Kromov.
Wow.
Yes, and then playing Yegush.
Look at you.
I
Look
was
at
getting
that.
to that. I was going to say because Alan is.
No.
No, that's too low. Yeah, that's
Keep
true.
going, keep going.
Not like that.
Not like that.
Like
Okay.
me.
Beautiful.
Like me.
Beautiful.
Proper German as well, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, it was one of the questions I was going to ask you. Obviously, opera, proper opera, not Phantom. Is
Oh, yeah,
yeah, exactly. Is so many different languages. First of all, do you speak any of them fluently? And secondly, which is your favorite language to perform in?
So interestingly enough, I went to Rhenish Girls High in Stellenbosch, and how I came about opera was my choir miss. I was actually bullied into going into choir. I was this sweet little girl. I didn't say anything on school. I was very quiet, and then I was bullied into a talent show. And from the talent show, when I won that, I was told, no, but you have to sing in my choir. We were 150 girls strong. So getting back to my point, I actually took an interest in German on high school, and we had this strange-looking German lady teacher called Frau Furey, and she always used to come in. She's like, "Alle Bücher aus bitte," and we would always make fun of her. And I think that is where I sort of developed the love for the German language and the German people, because I mean they're fun. I mean, who drinks beer at 10 a.m.? Germans. I mean, come
South
on.
Africans every day.
All that.
Australians.
All
Yeah.
that. And then I went to UCT and I did 6 years of study there. I've got my BMAs in performance opera. Then I have my postgraduate certificate in advanced opera, and one of the prerequisites of the degree for the 4-year degree was that we had to take Italian, German, and French. And it was the first 2 or 3 years was German and Italian, and then the last 2 years was French. And out of all the languages, I love to sing in Italian, but I prefer doing the German operas because Italian can become very over-soaped, if I can say.
Sentimental.
Yes. And just last year I did, with Cape Town Opera, who I work with, we have got offices based at Artscape, we did Hansel and Gretel with Alessandro Televi, and I've had the pleasure of working with him before, and it was absolutely brilliant. And he took Humperdinck's opera and turned it into something completely not safe for children. So I mean, it was like proper, it was proper
It was brilliant. production, very
Grimm
dark.
Brothers,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
very, very dark, absolutely brilliant. I had this leotard that was stained pink and brown. I was a dirty kid that, you know,
And in the
used
show?
the dumps as, no, not
Hey-o.
always. Excuse me, that's just my character, calm down. And there I actually, if you look at my Instagram, if you are that interested in who I am really, then you can see that I'm sitting there and a German comes easily, naturally. Why? Because ons is tweetalig, my ma is van die Noord-Kaap, so van Calvinia, so ons praat gewoonweg Afrikaans by die huis. And I think that is just how easily I picked up. And we also sing in like Czech, Russian, what is the other stuff? I mean, even Afrikaans opera, we did
Where?
in Cape Town, there's stuff, I'm telling you, we did 430 operas and 2 of them were in Afrikaans.
Lulu.
No, absolutely not.
So, no?
Absolutely no. And I mean, Afrikaans and German singing the two, it's actually quite similar. So, I mean, but it's a lot of fun. I hardly feel like I work a day in my life, so that's nice.
Fab. So I love Italian opera, but I think because of the drama,
Yeah.
I think it's just, whereas the German opera I always find is quite, but maybe it's just because I'm a bit of a drama queen, you know, so it's, you know, that kind of thing.
Were you in the school choir? Because she mentioned the school choir. Did you sing Oh Danny Boy?
Yes!
There, everyone
did.
sang. Did you sing it?
I wasn't in the
Oh
school choir.
Danny
Were you not that?
Boy.
No.
I didn't say that. I just wasn't in the school choir.
Because I feel like we were all pushed
But the
into it.
elites were in school choir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no, I didn't have many. I didn't have many friends. Then I went to the choir and we learned Danny Boy.
Danny Boy, yeah.
That's popular though. Very. The
Well,
pop-
I'm
Loch
Irish, so-
Lomond as well.
yes, Loch Lomond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Choir.
We
Who's Loch Lomond? What is Loch Lomond? Where is Loch Lomond?
It's a
It's a
lake.
lake.
it's a lake.
Okay, in Retreat, Grassy Park.
Scotland.
The Loch Ness.
The
Yes.
Loch Ness Monster.
Winning.
Good. We got there eventually.
I'm here for facts.
I can see why you dropped out of teaching.
Yes.
I can see.
I spoke confidently to the kids.
I'm picking it up.
To be fair, it was at Weinberg Boys, so this was good education.
Yeah.
Ah,
I let them pass with confidence, but they weren't really passing.
okay. How long did you teach for?
Only 5 months.
5 months.
It was a temp post.
Okay, and Alan, you were a
About
teacher.
8 years. Yeah.
8 years is long.
So you must have been one of the cool teachers.
I don't think I get to say that.
He was.
You okay.
I taught when I was very young, so I think by nature of being young, I was a cool teacher.
Yeah.
But you are
One of
cool
those.
now.
I'm pretty warm under these lights.
He had former students at the previous show of his, and the love that they had was awesome. Like 10 of them came. They came in groups. They
Yeah.
stuck around afterwards. Yeah, it was
No,
like
it was a good, I mean, when I look back, it was an interesting way of starting a career. I knew I was always going to end up as a performer, but I also wanted to do something that backed up what was a tricky career, so I thought
Yeah.
I'd take another tricky career, to have 2 options where I won't earn money.
Yeah.
So teaching was a kind of backup, but I I had to do it, and I was lucky enough to do it part-time. First at Westerford and then at Herschel for a number of
Lovely.
years. And then finally it got to a point where my career was in performing was taking off. So, but during that time, kind of developed an audience, really. If it wasn't the learners, then it was their parents who'd come to watch
Yeah.
my shows.
Can
And
sit in
now-
the lessons.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing like...
I'm paying for this education. Herschel,
mean,
it costs a fortune.
Dalen will tell you, when you work reading a crowd and working a crowd,
Yeah.
essentially they're classes, and a group of people will take on a personality very quickly, and so you learn to read a crowd and how to hold their attention and manipulate.
Like this crowd, you had so many throwaway gags, nothing from
Nothing
them.
from them. But to be fair, this is weird for them because we're playing to camera and they're watching and they're
Yes.
lovely. I wouldn't say they're good looking, but they're punctual and they're here, and that's what's important.
They're here for the opera, though.
Yeah.
They are
They
here
are.
for the opera. We're all here
Yeah,
for the
we're all here
opera.
for the opera.
I wasn't a
Let's-
guest, I stumbled in.
What did you? What did you teach?
I taught at Westerford. I taught English and a little bit of Afrikaans,
Yeah.
Mooi gedoen.
and then did drama as a kind of part of that.
Oh, I also had
Okay.
drama
There
in
was,
high school.
there was no drama at Westerford as a subject, so it was part of the English syllabus. And then at Herschel, I was the drama teacher.
Okay, listen, my kid, I've only got one. She's started grade 1
Right.
a few weeks ago.
Congratulations.
Good.
Yeah, no, I'm struggling. The teacher's laughing. I'm struggling with homework.
Aren't you happy
Already.
she's out of the house though?
This, I'm happy. Well, she's not 18 yet. But so the first week, she's starting reading, which is very excited about. And the first week, the homework book came back and said, please record the reading. So I've been doing audio recordings.
Why must you record the reading?
No, wait. So I've been doing audio recordings. I mean, okay,
Yeah.
now we've read through the book once. We know all the words. Because also now, during lockdown, everyone had to... So I do a lot of voice artist work, and I've got a whole little studio set up at home. So I'm like, okay, Nivi, we've got to take this seriously now. So I'm like, okay, we read through the book. We know what the words are like. Okay, now we're going to take it from the top with feeling, okay? Say it like you mean it. So I'm doing audio recordings. So yesterday, the note came through again. Please record the reading, and then I read on the next line, in the homework book.
Aha! I was gonna
Wow.
say, you should have done an Instagram live. Like then it's full on recorded
Wow.
No,
forever.
I've got like 6 weeks of the kid reading Flopsy the bunny. And I'm like, come on, say it with meaning.
Yes.
Flopsy the bunny. She's like,
At one big boys, that was still they were still reading that in matric.
In matric, yeah. That was
so
part of the matric syllabus. Yeah.
Oh, really?
We
Flopsy
replaced
the
it
bunny.
with Shakespeare, yeah.
Yeah.
That was big. Yeah.
Flopsy
No,
the bunny.
I don't know how I have become this punctual, hard-working person because, yes, when I was in grade 1,
Who said so? That you're punctual and
me,
hardworking?
myself, and I, thank
Listen,
you.
she arrived before both of you.
No, because I did not like work. I was that kid where it said, you know, you get 5 donuts plus 2 donuts equals 7.
Yes.
And my mom loves to tell this story to at family gatherings and stuff, where they would say, no, you have to color in, you know, all the donuts and all of that. And I would only color in one because why must I color in the rest? I remember we had the ABCs, and we had like, you know, G, giraffe, girl, garage, and we had to color these in on this sheet. And I would be like, nope, I want to go and read. And so I would just stuff them into my chair bag. And
The donuts or the giraffes?
No, the sheets, the
Okay.
worksheets. And I stuffed them into my chair bag, and the teacher actually had to call my parents in because they're like, your child's great. She's lovely. She's just a little bit of a chatterbox, and she's not doing her homework. And boy, oh boy, it was ironing out those papers on an ironing board and then coloring in while my mother said, you will sit and you will
It
finish.
was you.
And I mean, now today, that's why I'm just like,
your,
I don't
mom's,
understand.
your mom's sitting in the audience going, yes, I did.
Yep.
You, but you know, your mom's
I was that kid, and I mean, still to this day, I procrastinate, but when I do what I do it well.
But you're doing what you love now, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's easy.
And I didn't like school. No.
No one really enjoys school.
Listen, but no, let's not talk about the maths, because you say about the 1 + 1 and that kind of thing. Then I got a note today from the teacher on the maths that I've been telling the kids to do the wrong thing. She actually wrote, let's look at this again. I was like, oh my God.
And this is primary school maths.
This is grade 1.
Wow.
God help me when we get it further.
So you're struggling
No,
more than
I
your
t-
daughter in the first few weeks of grade 1.
Okay, English, we're acing it. We're doing audio recordings,
Yeah.
we're reading
Sure.
fluently with feeling, correct inflections on the right words. Maths, I'm like, oh God, no, 5 socks plus 3. And now I was already doing multiplication with her. Then I call my husband in, what is this? He's like, I don't know. So we're multiplying, and she's just going along with it. Okay, and I get the abacus working out. Okay, 5, now 3 times 5. 5, that side, 5, that side, 5, that side. It was like, it was the most basic thing when the teacher wrote the letter. I was like, oh.
You got it wrong. Well done, man. That's good.
Yeah, no, exactly. But the embarrassing thing was I got a note. It wasn't just like your mummy got this wrong. It was like, mummy, let's
Stop
look at this
working
again.
with your mother.
God. Nevi, please teach your mum basic mathematics.
I must tutor you. That was one of my teaching subjects, mathematics.
Oh, really?
Can you believe it? Yeah, I taught high school maths and history. I did first year maths for 3 years at UCT.
Wow.
Like, no, I failed. It's not a wow.
Oh.
Like, I failed. Yeah.
Ma'am 1000.
There we are. I failed it for 3 years. And the funniest part is, so you just need Ma'am 1 to teach at high school.
That's right.
That'll be more than enough. But the goal wasn't to teach the smart kids, with all due respect. I mean, I'm not the smartest, but you know, if you learn to figure things out, you'll be great.
Yeah.
But the problem is we had a study group of 6, and only 1 was smart, for lack of a better word. There were 5 dombrassen, me and 4 other dombrassen. So every time Yazid wasn't there, we were tutoring each other.
Oh no.
And then one day, in one of our finals, this is the funniest thing, Parker got his paper. And you know when you look around to the study group to see if anybody's on point, and all you heard him shout was, "Nine!" And he failed because, we didn't know. You can't teach a kid something if they don't know something. Well, an adult at least. But a kid, yes. I must give hope. The kids are amazing.
No, it's 0 for me.
You don't have any yet, do
I
you?
was,
Not yet.
I was speaking
Godfather.
on maths. My sister's the scientist. I have to brag there. She's a conservation ecologist.
Wow.
Currently finishing her M in parasitology.
Wow.
Parasitology at Stellenbosch University.
Wow.
Nice.
She's the brains. Me,
There's
I
parasites
refuse.
in the water in Cape Town. Is that true?
I don't know. You should ask her.
There's something in the water this past week.
It's all happening.
I don't
Not
know.
at the
It's
moment.
No,
I
don't
mean,
spread
it's not
rumors.
in the water. It's not in the water. I read an article today.
It's not, okay.
It's not.
It's in the woolies.
It's typhoid. It's somewhere. It's not in the water.
Okay,
It's not, apparently.
okay.
I don't know. City of Cape Town. No. There is typhoid. It's not in the water. I was like, I don't know where else you expect it to be. It's a
Just
waterborne
drink
disease.
bottled
But that's
water. Just drink
Yeah.
bottled water and be fancy and drink bottled
Yeah.
water.
don't bath. We're back to the drought. we're back to the drought.
Speaking of bath.
In
like
England.
I've had
Beautiful, such a stunning, eh?
No, I'm talking about hygiene. There was this. Sorry, there was this one lecturer that we had, and he was so passionate about opera, and a real Italian man, and we love him to bits. And he always smelled of garlic, because I mean Italians cook with garlic; they love garlic.
It's a vampire.
And the students once left in his pigeonhole because he started smelling so badly, especially when you sweat. You sweat all of that out. Left a soap bar and a face cloth and stuff. And it made me feel so bad. But then it also made me so aware of, just because you brought up the bath thing, aware of how in my career hygiene is so important.
Yes.
They call me clean Brit at work because I've always got a packet of wipes, powder, roll-on, extra pair of underwear, because when we sing, we run up and down, we sweat like proper. And we've had some pretty nasty
It's good you didn't go into stand-up
altercations.
comedy. Well done.
Yeah, no.
Don't you feel like if you playing against or you're singing with somebody who you don't really like that much, you've got your
Oh,
sort
it's
of
happened.
male, and then you think, I'm going to garlic you up tonight, dude. I'm going to...
No
Come on. And also
shame.
with opera, you project as well. So it's going to be like, you're going to smell this garlic from 2 meters away. Come on, buddy.
Not me per se, but there have been people where my lecturer always used to tell me, bless her, Virginia Davids, I love her to bits. I wouldn't be here, if it wasn't for her. Where she would just say, no, my child, just breathe shallow. Just breathe shallow. Breathe very lightly. And then you'll be fine. Just shallow. That was it. No. Anyway.
Okay. Alan, let's, because I want to talk about your serious, your more serious, because you've done a lot of Shakespeare. Speaking of Shakespeare, opera.
Not that much. So I studied as an actor at UCT, and so the idea was, I had a great love for comedy, but that I wasn't gearing to go become a stand-up comedian.
Okay.
I was gearing to become a performer, and so I studied for 4 years. And when I left, my first show was and at that point I was teaching at Westerford part-time, but I was keen to kind of get going. And KPAB had, what was then KPAB, all the Performing Arts Councils had just disbanded, which was my first year out of drama school. So the pressure was on for us to create our own work, which now when I look back was a good thing. So the first thing I ever did was to write a one-man show, which was a one-man Richard III. where I played everyone, all 37 parts.
Sure.
And I took that to Grahamstown in 97. I remember sitting with a good friend of mine who was teaching with me, and we were sitting outside on a bench at Westerford trying to work out what should we call the show. And he said, well, what sells in Grahamstown? And I said, well, essentially sex or nudity or controversy. So the year before, there'd been a show called Get Hard. Peter Hayes, brilliant actor, who was completely naked for the 70 minutes of his show. But it was packed because people, whether they wanted to hear the story or see his shortcomings, they got to do both.
Yeah.
Wonderful climax. And takes balls. But here's the thing. It's either that or controversy. So he sat there with my friend Jonathan. He said, why don't you call it Richard III, The Untold Story of Diana's Death? Because she had just passed away in 97. And I thought, well, so I did. I called it that, and we did very well. And I had to crowbar a monologue into the middle of the speech as to why, but it really made no sense as to why it was called that. So it was just a kind of bit of luck that started my career with that show. That show was picked. I came back to Cape Town. I did an international tour of Cape Town. I did Artscape and the studio at Artscape, and then the Mask Theatre, and then at Westerford High School, and then a Scout Hall. If anyone stopped and walked too slowly past me, I did the show for them. And Peter Turin saw one of those shows with only 14 people in the audience.
Oh, wow.
He was invited by a friend. He came to watch, and he phoned me up and said, would you like to take this to Joburg in 2 or 3 years, which I thought was a strange offer. And he said, in the meantime, come and perform upstairs in my cabaret venue, which is now the Lambda Studio, Lambda Theatre School. But it used to be a cabaret space, and I used to do every Sunday night for a year. I used to do shows, which is how I kind of developed my skills and my relationship with Peter. Which
But
is
you've
now
done a lot with Peter Turin
Yeah,
over the years.
so that's where it
almost
started
like
back
you seem
in-
to be his go-to guy.
Yeah, well, we started in 98, and by 2000, I then took that show to Joburg, and since that time, I've done, this year, my new stand-up show, which I'm writing now, is my 25th one-man show.
Wow.
And I've written 4 or 5 other shows with bigger casts, and I've probably done about 40 shows with him over the years.
Nice.
So yeah, it's been a great, and then of course in the middle of that, Tim Plewman resigned from Caveman, and so he offered Caveman to me, which I did for 10 years and 900 odd performances.
You travelled with that as well, didn't you?
Mostly across South Africa. We went into kind of southern Africa, but no further, because there are cavemen around the world. There's 14 productions around the world.
Yeah.
So you didn't really get a chance because each territory had their own caveman.
Their own.
Yeah.
Okay, you come in South African cavemen, because I think South African cavemen are unique.
They certainly
in
are.
their, I mean, I would imagine. Yeah, I would imagine. I mean, I don't want to be rude because
You say caveman, and you look at me, and you pause.
don't.
And then you
I'm looking at
I
you
got
to
a
like.
bit of chest there.
I'm looking at you to like back up what I'm saying.
Yes, I agree
you're
with you.
nodding,
I agree
you're
with you.
nodding. You're going, yeah. I was
yeah.
like, it's-
I'd
I'm
like
just
to
enjoying the story, man.
I'd
Yeah.
like to think that cavemen, I mean, listen, that show's 30 years old now,
Yeah.
31 years old.
Yeah.
So you'd like to think things have changed a little bit. I've written a follow-up.
No,
called-
they haven't.
I think they have.
Are you sure?
For the most part, of course.
I think men say they've changed,
Right.
but I don't know.
But do they really?
But have
That-
they really?
That's my lift. I'm going to have to go.
Wait, I want to hear. Why do you...
Listen, we are actually out of it very briefly. We are going to take a break. We're going to be back talking. We can talk more about cavemen after the
Right.
break, if you like.
Sure.
And a whole lot more. So do stay tuned. Don't go away. We'll be back after the break. Audience, we will be back.
Maurice Merlingson's mind swirled with ideas,
So, what's the story, Morris?
but it was never the right time to share his work. The demand was only a distraction.
Darling, just share. Dad, I have a story.
With innovation as his only destination, he set off for new discoveries, a land of uncharted stories. No idea was worth sharing until he had redefined perfection. But the perfect discovery had left him behind.
Hey, you look like you've been on a journey. So what's your story?
For exceptional ideas are meant to be shared.
Jonathan.
Sound.
Welcome back to Fiona, Furey and Friends. If you are just tuning in, my guests this evening are Alan Committee, Brittany Smith, hello, and Dalen Oliver. We are coming to you live from the Boca Creative Studio in Sea Point. So if you can hear things in the background, it's because Sea Point is very bustly and vibey, and we are live, and that's why. So, Dalen.
Yes,
I
Fiona.
feel like you got off very easy in the first section.
Okay.
So,
You had a big dramatic pause when you said my name. I'm looking forward to this.
Did I?
Yes.
okay, now I was going to talk. So your second gig, because I mean both Alan and Brittany are obviously very highbrow theatre and a lot of other things, but your other gig is radio.
Yeah. Working in broadcasting since 2012. How cool was this? A Facebook memory popped up. Like, Facebook is actually good for something, for
Yeah.
birthdays and memories.
Yes.
Yes.
My sister sent me a WhatsApp. 2010 was a cool year because I was in third year at UCT at the time, politics and history major. How boring. And
I think
then,
that's quite interesting.
yeah,
Quite.
lots of writing and words. But then we were in the cafeteria getting booties, and Good Hope was doing a campus DJ search. So this was like in April. I hadn't started comedy. I started comedy in October of 2010. But then they came back the second day, then I entered. Didn't win overall, but won the UCT leg, and then 2 years later got into broadcasting. So that's 2 years after starting stand-up. So yeah, it's like 10 years in radio now, doing sports. I'm a sports presenter.
Sports guy.
With some facts.
I was going to say,
But the others
Do
are
you-
just things I say.
do you actually love sports, or is it?
I
That,
do,
Or is
I
it like
do.
I love it? I love it.
Yeah, I love it.
You know
I'll
what
take
I
the
mean?
job.
Like you
Yeah.
go to, you know when you go
I'll
to
do
a
the weather,
exactly.
anything.
You know when you go to a casting, like yes, I speak.
Dalen
French.
is being very modest. Dalen is a very fine sportsman, and at school you played a lot of age group cricket. And
I did. Thank you, Alan. The dream growing up was actually to be I mean, every kid has it, so I say it with a lot of caution, to play for South Africa. I'm a big cricket fan. We cry when the Proteas lose.
We do.
Alan and I are on the same page. I played junior provincials up until under 19, captain the Cokewick side, which is
Really?
that's your prestigious under
Wow.
19 age group. But then played for 2 years in Province Academy, and discovered stand-up in my third year. Not to say that if I didn't discover stand-up, I'd have been playing for the Proteas, but got a lot of buddies playing franchise cricket and for SA as well, playing abroad, who I go, that's great, you've made it, and I'm happy for you, because I wouldn't change it. I don't know if you had this as well. Like, actually,
Was Alan an athlete as well?
he was
Who
in my
did
age
you
group.
play
We
for?
were at high school together,
What
right?
did
So what
you-
happened was, I performed at the Baxter for the
I
first
thought
time.
you'd be water polo though. No.
No. He- Equestrian, wasn't it equestrian?
Show
Nay.
jumping.
No. I didn't know what equestrian meant. And I was coaching cricket at the time, right? As a student coach. And then I coached a lot of, so you do private coaching, so it's one-on-ones with youngsters at private and Model C school. So this mom tells me, oh no, the other son's an equestrian. And I go, yeah, cool, I'm born in Jan. I'm like, fucking-
No.
I'm Aquarius. This is-
are you born in Jan?
I am born in Jan.
Are you born in Jan?
When are you
No,
born?
I'm a September.
Oh,
baby.
mate.
Okay, sorry, can you leave?
No, you can leave. It's fine.
When in September?
Maybe that's why we get along so well. You're Capricorn, yeah?
We get along? Cool.
Ah,
Yes, I am.
Just
I-
on camera,
I
though.
am. No, I am. I'm on the cusp, though. I'm Jan 20, so it's either Capricorn or Aquarius.
Right.
Yeah, either or. But yeah, that was the dream growing up, and then played some schoolboy cricket, and then this happened. So my first theatre performance at the Baxter was with you at the Funny Fest. Eugene Koza couldn't make it one year,
Right.
2011. And then the gentleman who runs a very successful festival, Eddie Kassar,
Eddie.
gave me a ring. He's like, yo, dude, can you do one night for me, 2 performances, 5 p.m., 7 p.m.
I'd be very surprised if he called you dude.
He didn't. He said, hi there, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then what happened was I did 5 minutes, but first time in a theater, and came home that night, mind blown. I was still staying at home, I was chatting to my parents. My dad was like, cool, if you could play for the Proteas now or do stand-up. I'm like, yo, but I'll go gig in OBS to 5 people, because that feeling of knowing what happens at theater, because you don't know when you start playing in OBS in town and other club gigs, and then knowing what the pinnacle is like, it's really cool. But then you grow to love all spaces, so yeah. And now I'm here on your couch on a Yes, on a Monday. Thank you. This is very exciting.
I see the audience on.
Yeah, I got no joke. I got no jokes for you. It's very boring. I got no jokes for you.
I've never asked you this, but my dream is
Yes.
Paul Slabolewski, who's a brilliant South African playwright, was the voice, the cricket wanderer's voice for many years.
Yes.
Bobby Eni. Can you not get me to do the Newlands test? Because I haven't missed a Newlands test
I can.
in 22 years.
I can.
Can you?
We can. But
I would love to do that. That would be a dream.
We can. But I have to win with South Africa. We can't promise stuff, but we can say things.
But you can organize.
I can organize. That's a great South African word, meaning
Yeah.
we can do anything, but we also can't. But no. Like, I can. I mean, I've been fortunate. I've worked with, I don't know if you, I hate speaking about myself, but the Mzansi Super League. So
Yeah.
that's our T20 competition. So I think, and all of us have said this, what is really cool, we find ourselves in spaces that we enjoyed, not necessarily as professionals, whether it's sport or not, and now we get to work in them. So I'll be at Paul Rocks, that's the Mzansi Super League side. Picture this, Sunday auntie, I'm looking at you specifically, right? I'm calling you auntie just for this moment. 10 a.m. and you're singing Judy Boucher with the whole 5 to 10,000 Paul people who aren't drunk, but they're getting there. And it's the most beautiful atmosphere throughout South Africa, one of the most quality stadiums to have that vibe. Newlands, a bit more formal, but they love cricket, and they are there for all the years. So, Alan, this is actually the official new voice of the Proteas, ladies
Now
and
we're
gentlemen.
talking.
Yes, this is, can we clap for him, please? Thank you.
Tell Fiona Furey what happened at our, because there are a lot of comedians in Cape Town who love their cricket.
Yes.
Nick Rab and I were at school together at Westford, and we were in first team together.
I
Tom
like
Eaton
how he
and
throws
what-
that in. Can we clap first?
No,
in
we don't
cricket?
clap for that.
Hey, yes.
And then we had, who was all in our, Sivan Gessie
Seven
was there.
Gessie, Glenn
so-
Beedham and Pam.
Glenn Beedham and Pam is another great
Yeah, we needed
cricketer.
one Bishop's boy just for quota. And then
So you
And what happened there?
should have got Herschel then.
we should have gone Herschel. He wasn't available. He was in Camps Bay.
He's an ex-Bishop's comedian.
He is. I pulled
definitely.
my hamstring. Alan was the greatest coach and player coach because he never played. He just inspired us from the sideline. But what happened with me, I'm 33 now, but my brain thinks I'm 21. So I saw the ball and I said sprint. And then I sprinted and
Oh,
I
boy.
pulled my muscle. At 33, I pulled the hamstring. It was the most
Right.
most painful thing I've gone through in a while. Yeah, this is like worse than a COVID test. It's tough. Alan comforted me, though, with a Coke Zero and a burger. Thank you.
Pleasure, lad. And
Yeah.
we won the final without you there, so that
We won. We were crowned champions.
So this was a
intermediate event.
okay.
Yeah.
I remember that from when I was in
Yes.
media a long
Yeah.
time ago.
Brad Bing, the Sporting Chance family. It's a good cause as well. You raise money for the youngsters, so
Yeah.
that's awesome.
When I was with a radio station, and they would not let me play.
What
Oh,
radio
no.
station was that?
It shall remain nameless.
Oh.
Not one, not two, not three, not. If you don't have if what's not beating? This is a.
Yeah.
Get me playing charades here. I was going with P4.
Wow.
No, but they were like, no,
Are you
because
with right, before back
girls,
then?
blah, 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 and I was
Yeah.
like,
It was a great day. I mean, we loved it as
Yeah,
the comics.
fun.
yeah.
Should get an opera team next time.
Yeah.
Catch the
Yes.
ball, drop the ball, fetch the
Oh
ball.
my gosh.
Professor Angela
You
Gabato
should
behind the
get-
stumps.
You
know
an
him.
opera team to do the commentary.
Yes.
Now listen, the commentary you want to do. Do you want to do it sort of the live commentary or the TV commentary? Because I think you two should team up to do
no, that's
TV
a different
commentary.
thing. Now, I want to be in the stadium to announce a batsman coming in and out. and-
Give us an
Hey.
example.
Yeah, we want to hear this.
Yeah, Aiden Markram is coming in with Dean Algar. They're opening the batting. It's
Right.
the third and final test, India at Newlands. Go.
Welcome to Newlands. This is the third and final test, and it's the beginning of day 4. Thank you for joining us here at Newlands, Sahara Newlands. Ladies and gentlemen, please make sure that you obey all the ethical. Coming into back now, coming in at number 3, Aiden Markram. He won't be there for long, so make sure that you enjoy whatever you can, because he's bound to be out in second or third delivery. We're playing the Australians, so please watch them very carefully, because a lot of this won't be cricket related.
Yes.
Bunch of. Anyway, here we go. The game started.
I love that. I'm there for that.
I think you should apply.
Yeah.
Because cricket's so serious. I mean, I think cricket is... okay, I'm not a cricket fan because it takes
Yes.
a long time and I have ADHD. So it's 5 days a long time for me to sit
Yes.
still
Right.
and watch people strolling along.
If you don't grow up with it, it's a horrible game.
Yeah.
But if you grow up with a tennis ball being taped on one side to make it move left, right,
Oh, really?
Alan knows that.
Beautiful thing.
If you don't look at the passage as a passage, this is a cricket pitch.
Okay. Listen, I grew up in Botswana in the bush, so I grew up with tennis balls. They wet and they throw them at you hard, hit.
Stingers.
Stingers, yeah.
Did you play stingers?
Yeah, that was when you had it, yeah.
It's a great
So
childhood game.
that's when you duck. Two things that make you duck. I mean, my mum, God
A
bless her soul, she's not with
slipper.
us anymore. But that slipper,
The
that's when you
slipper.
become Neo from the Matrix.
And the whole point was you
And
put it in
the
a bucket
tennis.
of water so you made it really sting and would leave marks. I think they should introduce that at work functions, like for like a tea breaks mid-morning.
Yes.
You line up management against one wall.
100%.
Anybody who irritated you before
Yeah,
12,
you'd feel
before
better.
12, you would
Yeah.
just.
That would be amazing.
Actually, I think you two are missing a trick with that. You should have it at gigs, and if anyone heckles, you'd be like, hang on.
Oh,
Yes.
no, but we invite heckles. We like a heckle or two.
Turn the lights on.
Oh, nice. Take them on. Yeah, maybe.
Would even
was
work
it?
well. Would even work well at recitals and stuff when a damn phone goes off.
And it's not part of the
Yes.
opera.
Yeah, no.
Does it? Does
yeah.
a phone?
Does that happen?
What do you
do
do?
people
Yeah.
do that?
Absolutely. There will be a beautiful violin concerto being played, and I mean, it's like Saint Saëns or, and then there's actually a really
In
cool.
what year did that ringtone
Yeah, because
happen?
that's a
What
very
show?
long, old ringtone.
All that. What is the iPhone? Dun, 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 dun. That thing.
Give us more examples. Keep going.
Give us a third ringtone.
Yes.
Any of that. There have been. There's actually a really cool.
You should have done that during COVID. Everyone had a side hustle during COVID. What am I going to do to make money? You could
Opera budgets are
you
tight.
could
The
work for
contract
Vodafone.
No, they really are tight. No, but just getting back to that thing of phones going off. There's an actual recital of a musician, very well-known violinist. He is playing, and someone's phone goes off, and he stops and he looks at the person and he starts playing the tune until
Brilliant.
the person puts the phone off.
That's
and the person
very
couldn't-
good.
The person was so nervous they couldn't put the phone off, and he's like, "My concert, phone off."
That's
That's
fantastic.
Was he
really
German? Was he
good.
German?
No, he was Russian.
Russia.
Can
Yeah.
I tell a little story here, which you've just reminded me of, which was someone reminded me this weekend that I did this. It was about 8 to 10 years ago. I was emceeing the Furey Theatre Awards.
Oh, lovely.
And part of the entertainment was the Cape Town Youth Orchestra. And I went in for the rehearsal the day before and listened to them play. They were absolutely brilliant. And Maestro Brandon Phillips was the conductor.
Oh, good friend of
And
mine,
I met the first violinist, who was a young Rondebosch boy, maybe 16, 17 years old. And I pulled him aside. No one else saw this. And I said, listen, I have a violin at home, an old one that I used in a show that I bought for, I don't know, $200 at a music store. But it looks like, it's a proper violin. It's just a cheap-ass thing. I said, I'm going to introduce you at some point during the show and talk about your violin. I said, how much is your violin? He said, it's about 130,000 rand.
What?
I said, great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So I said, I'm going to talk about your violin. You're going to show us the violin. Then I'm going to introduce one of the set of awards, and you are going to swap out very quietly your violin for my cheap violin. When I come back later to talk to you and say, let me take a look at that violin, I'm then going to drop it and break it. But I'm going to break my violin,
Yes.
not yours.
Did you remind him to change it?
So I said to him,
Oh, no.
now Rondebosch boy,
Listen.
I've seen the level of education at your school. I need you to listen to this very carefully. You understand that if you don't swap it out, I'm going to break whatever you give me.
Yes.
I'd prefer not to break your
Yes.
130.
What did Andrew
Yeah.
Patrick
And
say?
he was up for it. He said, this is great. No one knew, So during the show, I talked about it, and the audience was tremendous. We went for the awards, we came back. And I picked up this violin, and he looked at me with such fear. He was such a brilliant actor that in that moment I thought, I think he's given me his real violin.
Yes.
But I had to go through it. I was going to commit. So I dropped it, and as I picked it up, I grabbed the neck and I snapped it. And 1,000 people in the opera house went, no! And the orchestra and Brandon went, no! And this guy went, oh my God, like loudly. That in that moment, I thought, I've stuffed
I've
up.
stuffed
This
it
is
up.
the wrong thing. And then he winked at me, and I was like, you little...
What a man.
It took me a long time to persuade the audience that it was not his
Yes.
violin.
Oh, wow.
But it was worth it.
I'm there for it. Can you please clap for that great
Yeah.
story? Thank you.
That's quite. How old was the kid?
He was about 16 then, yeah.
So 130K for violence.
There's
Yes.
a piano
Minimum.
at Ian Burgess that is just
Oh, no,
sold
you
for
could
like
buy-
3.4 million.
Yeah.
Fazioli that just sold.
Yeah.
Yeah, 130K.
So
is
cycling
nothing.
and
Bikes,
music.
Bikes
Very
and
expensive.
music.
Bikes and music.
Yeah.
Can
And
buy you
doctor's textbooks.
doctor's textbooks,
Yep.
Dr. Dre's textbooks, Dr.
That one too.
Dr. Dre, yeah.
And petrol.
Oh,
And petrol.
oh.
Just kids in general.
Yes.
N-
Kids in
everything,
general,
everything.
I don't know,
just,
mommy, was I expensive?
When did you know that you had the opera voice?
like you,
I don't know. I used to sing Heidi when I was like 4 years old.
Heidi?
Yeah,
oh,
Heidi.
sweet.
Heidi. Something, die Bergen.
Dum.
Something like
Yes.
and then I think by 16, 17, yeah.
So did you
That
watch Heidi? Because you're young. Did
I'm
you watch Dalen?
27
I had
years
Heidi
old.
as a kid.
Heidi and then Peter.
Yes.
And then Clara. Remember
Clara,
Clara?
yes.
Who was in a wheelchair.
Yes.
That always struck me as
Why
weird.
are you laughing?
Why would you be in
Why
the
are you
Alps?
laughing?
'Cause-
Why would you make your daughter live in the Alps if she's in the wheelchair?
Wheelchair.
Tell us
Doesn't
more.
make sense.
Because the downhill is very fun.
Well, it is fun,
Yes.
but what would happen is most episodes you didn't see Clara. It was always Opa and Peter
Yes.
and Heidi. And it's because Clara was stuck in the snow. Ek kom en ek ben kop, and she gets stuck in the snow.
Poor Clara
You
is
would
waiting
never
for the
see
ski
her.
resort to open.
It's outrageous.
I'm there for it.
I'm sad for
Brittany
Clara.
asked why I laughed, and the reason for that is because as comics, we can just see a magical split second when another comic goes into a gag, and I was going, yes, tell us, Alan, tell us about Heidi,
So
please.
what's your range?
I can go from a low, like on a good day, an A below
Yeah.
30
middle
degrees
C,
Celsius.
so that's quite nice. Cheers to. And then I can hit a F, like on a
Wow.
good day, on a very, very good day, I can hit an F. But my range stops when I'm feeling, it stops at an E flat, above
What-
top C.
and your comfortable range, where you like prefer to sing if there's a request.
Oh, in my middle voice, so anyway, like E flat, F sharp, G. F sharp is my passaggio, which is like,
Such a,
Oh,
so
my
yeah.
passaggio. I
Yeah.
had to
Yeah.
give it up. It was,
Was it repossessed?
yeah.
Oh.
It was one of because it was a twin cab passaggio.
I heard about that.
Extra space.
2002.
2002. Beautiful.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, to answer your question, I love singing in my middle voice. Obviously, I love singing up there to show off because, I mean, hello, I'm good at what I do.
Do you want to do a scale for us?
Can you?
Not
Oh,
too
okay.
close to the microphone.
Can we
no,
try?
I can try. That's actually bad for the voice. Don't clear the throat.
Oh, my nuclear throat.
Okay.
Amazing.
Well done.
Bravo. Bravo.
Well done.
I was waiting for the glass to smash.
So when you grew up and this happened at 3 a.m. in the morning, what did your mommy say? Is there a ghost? This is amazing.
No, it never did that. But I mean, I would like, 8, 9, 10 in the shower in the morning. Then it was particularly tough during lockdown when I had to practice.
Yes.
My mother was lecturing on the PC. My father was on the calls with
Yeah.
what is this place? Telcom,
SARS.
Teams, whatever. And my sister, no, not SARS here. And then my sister would be doing her stuff, and I would be trying to warm up softly.
Yeah.
And then my sister, especially if I have to warm up for gig, yo, shut up now! That's enough. Close your door.
Yes.
And I'm just like, but I have to warm up. And it was insane. In the
Yeah.
end, I had to go and practice in the car. And I mean, that was absolutely horrible
Yes.
because you can't
No,
sing.
no acoustics.
Would you rehearse virtually? Would you rehearse?
We tried that. It didn't work.
Didn't work.
I'd like to see you next to a taxi guard because that's the only other
Oh,
person
no, I've no.
who's range.
Speaking of, no, it was quite interesting. I love driving. I drive a little Opel Corsa 2007 light.
You know what's nice about those
And
cars?
I-
They're so small, the virus doesn't fit in the car.
Exactly. So now, there was this one day I was actually in this main road and I was blasting my opera and I was singing and this man is like, yo, jy gaan met kwaai sing, meide. And he had no teeth and it was the funniest thing. And I stopped. I was like, I'm sorry. And he's like, nee. Sing aan. Wag, jy, sit af die radio. Ons luister na die dame. And then he thanked me afterwards. And it was the most amazing thing. And
Amazing.
I mean, yeah, it was just, yeah.
Should take him with to every gig to intro
I
you.
should actually,
Yeah.
Yeah. I just got that like vision in my head now.
Tell us about
Or
the
Alan
vision.
should, no, the vision of the guy introing.
Yes.
And be like your own,
Praise poet.
Yeah.
yeah,
Would be cool.
Opera poet.
Yeah.
Luciano poet.
yeah.
What's your dream venue to play in?
to sing in would be Covent Garden.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Stunning.
For opera. It is fab.
Yeah.
Not Carnegie
It's-
Hall or...
No,
No,
Covent Garden.
Covent Garden. It is stunning.
I'm so uneducated when it comes to opera. Every opera word you've said, I've just agreed with.
London.
Going,
London.
Covent Garden. Covent
Yeah.
Garden's in London.
No
What?
idea.
Are you turning out like, what's her name? Marjorie Green,
Yes.
the Gazpacho police?
Ooh.
That was crazy, wasn't
That
it?
was so
It was
mad.
hectic.
That you don't know who I'm talking
No,
about.
not at all.
She was trying to say the Gestapo police. She's this. Do you know who she is?
No.
She's one of these Republican
Okay.
crazy,
Which year?
crazy ass
No, it
bitches.
was a
She's
couple
in
of weeks
America
ago.
now, but she's one of those
Okay.
a Trump supporter.
I feel bad.
She believes in QAnon.
Yes.
She's just. I mean, honestly, she's batshit crazy. So and she. The things she talks about, she'll just repeat QAnon things as if it's absolutely honest.
Yes.
So she was addressing Congress the other day, and she said, the Gazpacho police, the Democrats are like the Gazpacho police, which is cold soup.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't the gazpacho on the food?
Yeah.
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 She meant Gestapo.
Gestapo,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So, like, you should know this being a history
No, that Gestapo.
person.
Huh?
What?
I thought we were going to bond over history because I'm a history nerd.
Are
Are
you a
you?
history nerd?
I'm a history
What's your
nerd.
favorite period in history?
World War II.
Oh, I mean, I'm not like a history nerd, but
Yeah.
I love like
No,
the
that's
whole
fine.
thing. It's
Yeah.
What
very
about,
interesting.
tell us, what about pre, post, during?
Everything. What fascinated me, that's a good answer, hey, everything. What fascinates me about that is that whole Holocaust thing
Yes.
and Hitler, and I just want to know, like, would love to climb into his mind to know what he was thinking in that time, and also to the victims of the Holocaust and of World War II.
Yeah.
So it would be quite, I just find that very interesting.
This is a good time to do a callback of 4 weeks ago when Ellen, myself, Rob, and Gilly, 4 comedians, were sitting down, and I brought up one of my history lecturers, Milton Shane, who was, I did 4th year history, and it was a Holocaust course, and you'd love it. It's so in depth, and I actually experienced anti-Semitism as a non-Jewish person who looks Jewish, because stereotypically,
Well,
this
you
is the
do actually.
stereotypes
You
people-
fit
'cause
right in, C point.
I've got a confident nose, right? So now, what
You look Israeli.
I look at, yeah, and this is
You
not
could
me being controversial. This is now
Yeah.
legit experiences. And just to clarify, so if anyone from the Jewish faith tells me shalom, I'll just say, no, I'm from the Cape Flats, salute.
You don't
Just-
say shalom back.
Yeah, just,
Salute.
so now what happened, Ellen, and I figured it out, right? Because I was at the bar in the south with my friends, and a situation happened. This lady opposite me, you guys know it, if someone drops a plate in a restaurant in South Africa, everybody goes, hey, yeah.
Opa, well,
Yeah, and so they were from the UK, and I saw this happen, and I was like, oh, it's time to go back to England. Like, ooh, by 6 o'clock, better make sure you're home. And then she swore at me, and then she said, you go back to where you came from. Yeah, and then she said, go back to Germany, to Auschwitz. Then I went, yo, this is a lot, yeah. And then I'm with 6 friends, all colored brassen, right? And I'm going, I don't know how to articulate this moment. And my friend who's on the end is not the smartest, and he hears this. And all he says is, what did this lady say about the Auschwitz? We're looking smart today. We're dressed up to the nines. It was a great way to diffuse a really tough situation. Because I could see in Alan's eyes, he's like, Dalen, where are you going with this?
This is why you love a comedian, because when he told us that story, it had just happened on the weekend when you talked
On the
Monday,
day, yeah, it happened.
and you hadn't got a punchline for
I
it yet,
hadn't.
but now you do, and that's
I just decided to work it live.
slowly integrating it into a public performance.
Yeah.
Getting there.
Are you? Is this like your tester audience?
Cheers.
It's in
Did
the
they
wall.
laugh? Okay.
They
that's one
laughed.
gag.
Yeah. I
Keep
could have
that-
been cancelled
keep
after
that
that
joke.
gag, so
No.
we
There was a
survived.
little bit of panic.
It's good. The awkwardness is
But
good.
that is quite a thing.
The awkwardness?
No, being like that amount of anti-Semitism.
It's a lot. No,
And in
it
Cape
was
Town,
audible.
you
No, it was
wouldn't
audible.
expect it.
It was audible. I think we dealt with it in a really good way, where we didn't allow for any confrontation to happen, and we just said, it's not the, you don't say that wherever you are, to
Yeah.
whoever, you don't say that, and then we just cut ties with, even though she was opposite us, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I think we should have left it on the punchline.
Yes. No, I always want to ask more. We, because I wanted to go, obviously, from history to Shakespeare.
Right.
Okay. Do you, because that's the other thing I love.
Shakespeare.
History and English lit, my two subjects. But I particularly love Shakespeare. And it upsets me when they don't teach it at school. Because I
Yes.
think
They
it's-
don't?
A lot of schools are going, no, we don't teach it, it's not relevant anymore. And I think you should have, if not every year, at least, through high school, do at least two.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to do Macbeth because
Yes.
it's the best one.
Yes.
And possibly something a bit
Merchant of Venice as well as
Merchant
also
of Venice.
Yes.
But I think also a Shakespeare comedy because people
Yeah.
don't think it's funny. And if it's taught correctly.
That's good. Have
It's
you heard of
funny.
The Merchant of Athlone? You haven't?
No. But next time you do Shakespeare, why don't you put cast Dalen in one of Shakespeare's comedies?
That is, it's almost certainly not going to happen.
At all. Fun
He would be so good, like Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yes. Cost me, bruh. I just want to cost me,
You-
bruh. I'll come to the casting like that. Cost me, bruh. That's all I want. I just want to, shall I compare thee? That's all I want.
Shall I compare it?
I actually emceed that, and this is why I agree with you, Shakespeare, in terms of acting and performance and youngsters' confidence.
Yeah.
Yes.
I genuinely think that all kids at school should do drama until grade 10,
Yeah.
just to help with self-confidence, especially in our age with so much technology
Yeah.
and pressure with social media. So the Shakespeare Schools Fest runs at the Artscape and ran at the Baxter as well. I emceed that for about 2 or 3 years, and what a treat seeing youngsters being so confident in themselves and just getting into character and having access to a space that I wouldn't encourage prior to knowing.
Yeah.
Or when I was at high school, be like, why do you want to do Shakespeare? But now as an adult, I look back, I'm like, no, you have to.
But also the Shakespeare comedies, they're actually very funny, but if they're taught so highbrow that
Yes.
the jokes don't land. But I think you would be like Midsummer Night's Dream.
I think that for
Do
us
it,
at,
Alan.
It's a very good bottom.
That's what I was thinking. But or puck,
Settle down, settle down. C point.
or a puck, exactly.
So wait,
But-
if we're going to cast me, what role can I play? Mercutio. Mercutio.
No, you
could
don't
be-
want to
no,
do
you could
Romeo
be
and
a- You
Juliet.
could be an
No.
interesting Mercutio.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd see you as the kind of friend or the...
Or
you
Gravedigger in Hamlet.
You could be a gravedigger.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Thank you.
He's funny.
There was a student job at Clip Road Cemetery in Grassy Park, so
Okay.
done my internship.
But I want to talk to you about Macbeth. Because I
Right.
know it was done recently, and I know you were involved. I was very upset I didn't get to cast
I wasn't
it.
involved in Macbeth.
Were you not?
No. Which Macbeth?
It says on your website you did Macbeth.
Oh, that was years ago.
Wow.
It was 96.
Wow.
Quite a long time ago.
You see, I want to rewrite Macbeth. And I
Okay.
want to do it from the women's perspective.
Okay.
And I want to, like, can we re-script the whole, kind of keep it Macbeth, but do it specifically from the woman's perspective.
Right.
And if we take it to Hollywood, it's got to be like Scorsese. It's got to be like
Okay,
Right.
blood.
gritty and bloody. But it's got to be like the whole thing is taken. So Lady Macbeth, I think they have her wrong. She's a career wife. I think she's like a neurotic soccer mom who's like
Right.
trying to be like,
I like
you know,
that.
she lives
Yeah.
vicariously through her husband. She's not the driver of this. The witches are. And do you know who they are? They semi-menopausal women who are pissed the fuck off
Or the,
with the patriarchy and with men, and they scheme to overthrow it all.
So the
the
Kardashians.
witches, it starts. No, they
Not the
They're
Kardashians.
two, the witches, the Kardashians. I mean, the other witches. The Kardashians are too glam.
Ah,
Like these
okay.
bitches are fed up. They're in
Tommy
tracksuit
Kitten.
pants. They're like, "Lah," and you know they
Yes.
and then when they meet, it's like, yeah, when are we going to meet again? We're like, we're meeting to overthrow the world, you know.
Okay.
Now when she does the first witch, and this is who I want to play. Okay, so when we
Okay.
write it, Alan, I'm
Yeah.
assuming you're going to write it with me already.
Always.
The first
I
witch.
can see Fiona Furey at the top of that bull. Yeah.
Listen, Fiona Furey, I was
There we
meant to
go.
be a witch.
Yep. Yeah,
Come
the Furies
on, with
were
a name
Furies.
like that. But like when she does that whole, a sailor's wife, and people always play it so like, form the sailor's wife hath chestnuts in her lap. Give me, quoth I. It's wrong.
yes. What did she have?
She's
Chestnuts.
Chestnuts.
Okay,
Chestnuts.
so she's
So
getting
she's
it.
eating chestnuts.
Okay.
It's wrong. She should be like, she's got PMS. She's pissed off. She's like a sailor's wife hath chestnuts in her lap. And she munched and munched and munched. She's like, just give me, quoth I. And then she,
Nice.
she'd be like,
Yeah.
fuck, come on. Like, she's fed up.
This is a
Let's
good
do it.
costume.
See, this is the powerful thing about Shakespeare. You can put all kinds of
Any
concepts
spin on
in
it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As long
Let's
as
do
it has the
Next
final.
time you do Shakespeare as a director and a theatre director, you
Right. I will. I hear you.
call me.
Fiona Furey is Hecate.
Is Eckert, exactly. I don't want to play Lady Macbeth.
Right.
I want to play Eckert.
Okay.
She's mine.
All right.
There we go.
I again
You heard it here. He's
Heard it
promised.
here first.
He's pro-
I again think Lady Macbeth is just. I don't think people always portray her well. Like
No.
you said, I also don't think that she lives vicariously through her husband. I think she's running the whole plot. She makes him believe that he's powerful enough, but it's in actual fact she holds literally the belt.
But she's a career
To
wife.
everything.
That's the thing. Like, for me, she's a career wife. So that's what she's got. And slightly neurotic career wife.
Yeah.
Like, if he makes it, then so does she. And so she is pushing him. But I think the witches they're the ones who manipulate the whole thing. I mean, he wouldn't have got the idea in the first place if it wasn't for them. I think they sat down one day and we're bringing it down. You know, say, well, hail Macbeth, hail to thee, Thane of Clowns.
Are they not just in his imagination?
No, they're there. They're the schemers. They made it happen. Anyway,
I like
I
it.
don't know where, like, this is like some psychologist is going to be sitting here going, what the fuck is going on in her head?
I'm there for it. I'm there for it. I listen. I listen.
No, but it's nice to, it's nice to talk about different things on this show. So
Exactly.
anyway,
Good.
when are you doing Shakespeare again?
Well, hopefully sometime this year. The plan has always been for the last number of years for me to do one straight or serious play every year amongst all the stand-up. So, and to challenge myself. So a couple of years ago, well, I've done Noises Off and Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead. And then Richard III, the producers, just before we got into lockdown. Little Shop of Horrors.
Love that.
And so this year, and Oliana, which was a great straight play, David Mamet at Fugard. So this year, either a nice Shakespeare or another Mamet, which I have eyeing up.
Yeah.
But the problem at the moment is that we're at 50% capacity, and we are there for as who knows how long. And so we are in a position where we can't do any big productions. Everything has to be either one or two-handers or funded from outside sources.
I was actually going to ask you both, because I went to that, your show,
Right.
with both of you on, and Rob, and
You're right.
it was, how does it feel as a comedian on stage? Because people were laughing, but it didn't have that, you know, at a full venue has that big,
Right.
loud, sort of boisterous laugh.
Right.
And although everyone was low, because I was looking around, kind of curious from both sides,
Yes,
the
'cause you're an
performer, like,
artist,
how does
yeah.
it? So I was like, how does it? It felt quite kind of thin. Like everyone there was in hysterics, but
Empty.
it must have been for you guys, because you can't see people necessarily when the lights are on. You can't really see the audience's. You know, how does it feel for you guys with a half?
It's been fine. I mean, obviously you want a full house, but
Yeah.
we can't. So you live with what you can. And I think over the last 2 years, we've got used to whatever crowds we can play to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's 50% is
Yeah.
our new
The
normal.
first bit was weird.
Yeah.
You play a Artscape studio. It's 120 people. That's 60.
Yeah.
So you come in and you do an hour 20, hour 30, and you walk off going, ha! That was interesting, because
Yeah.
you just gave and you gave and you gave.
Yeah.
But they were there, but it's half capacity, and you weren't used to it. You were adapting to online shows,
Yeah.
and now you're adapting to smaller numbers. But you go, it's fine. Your comedy bones will figure it out. It's just good to see faces and humans, and not
Yeah.
telling them to put themselves on mute or put their camera on.
Yeah.
I think that's the point, because if we didn't go straight from full to half.
Yeah.
We did go via online stuff, and that's much worse.
Yes,
Playing straight to a camera with no response, which is what we did for a year and a half, is
which was a lot.
so actually any response was welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
I'm
didn't feel
happy
so
with
bad.
10 people. I'd do a room of 10.
Same.
Amazing. I just want to see eyes. You don't even have to laugh. Just be there. It's therapy.
Yeah, I concur to what he says. Like being even with us, where we had to record concerts and stuff. I mean, I'm not camera shy. You know, but my colleagues had a very difficult time adapting to having this and not knowing where to look, and no one's clapping, and you know, you don't see. And then when we saw audience in the audience for the first time, so, I don't want to say watchers, because watchers sounds weird. Spectators in the audience
Yeah.
for the
Yes.
first time. There we go. You could see the relief in
Yeah.
their eyes. That for us was like, this is what we've been missing. And now, like I said, that it's not at full capacity yet, and you think, how the hell do soccer stadiums get filled up, and rugby stadiums, and aeroplanes get filled up? But here you sit with the mask on the entire time.
Yeah.
You're so far away from your audience. How it's baffling. But the fact that there are people that they gun for tickets and they beg, they send emails, please put on another show, please, we didn't
Yes.
get tickets, please do a concert, even if it's just something shortened. That for us makes our job way easier because, sorry, I'm getting emotional. It's just been a tough
No,
time.
it's been a lot. You're allowed
And
to.
yeah, so that for us was just special. I remember the first time we had the very first audience in a setting. We all just stood there for like a minute before we began singing, and we were just like, there's actually people sitting in front of us. Audience left there crying because they were so touched by our performances. And I mean, that for us is it's what we feed off when we're on stage, and having to do that in front of a camera, it was the coldest thing. But I mean, slowly but surely, I mean, if they're allowing like hundreds of people in aeroplanes, surely they can do that soon in a theater.
It'll come back. I mean,
Yeah.
I think they're getting there,
Yeah.
hopefully.
But COVID doesn't exist.
Well, according to Marjorie Taylor Greene,
Let's start another
the
debate.
dispatcher has been
Did you feel how everything just went?
This whole room just, I'm choking,
be
guys.
like,
As the
are
random
there any
couple.
Trump supporters in the audience? Be like, for your COVID doesn't exist.
Honestly, though, and I'm sure the two of you can back me up here. So, from a restaurant perspective, people are very comfortable sitting in a full capacity space.
Yeah.
Theaters, I think people would be, but obviously there's formal restrictions and some are governed by certain laws. But South Africans and audience members, from what we pick up, they're going, no, we're here for it. It's fine. We're comfortable now. I think we've gone through that easing in period where we were initially scared because of the lack of the deadliness of the virus compared to
Yeah.
numbers prior to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully things are opening. But that's kind of why I started this show anyway, to give a springboard or just create some kind of buzz around performance in general and across the board with opera and comedy and, you know, and arts. Because I think we need to be back. You know, we're back, we're here.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
That-
exactly. Speaking of, we will be back. We are going to take a short break, and we will be back in a couple of minutes.
Hey, Mercedes,
How can I help you?
how about a car for those who set fire to the sound? Who cruise around town just to cool things down?
intro. Welcome back, everybody. This is Fiona, Furey, and friends.
When the mics come on, give us some. Hey, are the mics on? We're having technical issues at the moment. Brittany, you want to do the intro?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Fiona, Furey, and friends. These are our guests for tonight. Me, Fiona.
Well done.
Very good. You will have me out of a job very soon. This is Fiona, Furey and friends. If you are just tuning in, coming to you live from the Boca Creative Studio in Sea Point, Cape Town. And if you are just tuning in, our guests are Alan Committee,
Hey-o.
Brittany Smith, and Dalen Oliver. We were chatting during the break, and Brittany said something very interesting, that you are a TB survivor.
Yes.
Which is remarkable, that you came through tuberculosis and still have the phenomenal lung capacity and vocal cords intact.
Yeah, it was. We originally thought it was acid reflux because that's what all singers have. Pressure on the diaphragm, which creates stomach acid and blah, blah, blah. But then one day after production, I collapsed and I told my mother, I am very tired. I can't. I cannot physically sing anymore. And it feels like something is stuck here. I could point exactly where, as artists, we know our bodies. We know exactly, we can pinpoint something is not right here. Did some scans, did tests. The doctor said it could be one or two things. It's either TB or it's lung cancer. And I was praying I would rather take the TB than the lung cancer. Because the cancer, the lung would have to be resected, radiation, I can't sing, bye-bye career.
Yeah.
And it came back positive for tuberculosis. Not pulmonary, which is in the lungs, but endotracheal, meaning it was in my trachea 4 centimeters below my vocal cords.
Sure.
It was traveling there.
Oh.
And then obviously the TB treatment started. I was on it for 6 months. The first 2 months you have to take endearment-sized tablets, 5 of them every morning, and then 2 of those for 4 months. And I beat TB, and now I'm representing TB proof as an upcoming active member. I'm actually going to go and speak to some TB patients on Thursday at Stellenbosch with the microbiology students and all of that. So I'm looking forward to that. And I must say, I'm not afraid, in all seriousness, to speak out on tuberculosis, because it is not just the poor man's disease.
No.
It can affect anyone, and I think more awareness should be created for it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's get that stigma away from it. It's
Exactly.
not exactly. But so lucky. I mean, it would have had a Julie Andrews situation where she had to have her vocal cords not removed, but she can't sing anymore,
Yeah.
which is quite tragic.
Yeah,
Well, it would be more tragic for you because
of course.
I think
of course.
Julie's done a lot of the singing already.
Yeah.
It's not,
I don't know how to top that. I recovered from the flu last week. I don't know if that.
Did you?
Well done.
Does that? You had a bit of a back pain, Ellen?
No, for
Yeah,
me,
yeah, yeah.
TB Temba Bavuma, who
Yes.
came in at number 4.
Back to cricket.
Fine, Cap.
Yes. Is this a fair thing? Like, especially with cricket, aunties from all backgrounds
Aunties.
looking into this audience should not play cricket because aunties don't know boundaries.
I like that. Yeah. Very
That's
good.
a good one.
Not your best, Joe.
Not my best, eh?
No.
So like a 7 out of
7,
10, yeah.
like the Proteas, a 4.
Yeah. As an auntie, I'm offended.
I never made eye contact with anyone. I just looked across the room and then at Ellen.
No, I'm-
Support me, please. No, for support.
I'm at that age now when people call me auntie. I'm like,
I don't think artists age in general. I think because we're always on the ground with what's happening in terms
Yeah.
of performance space and people. So that's
Yeah.
my theory, and I'm like sticking with it. Our souls are forever young.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thank you. Listen, I think I'm at I'm not going to mention the school, but at the school my kid is at, I'm the only mom whose face moves. So I look a lot older than the rest of them. I'm telling you. It's like, we've actually spoken about age on
Let's
this.
go through the
We've
list.
spoken
Rhythm,
about age on the show before. No. I'm not.
Herschel,
I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say it. But yeah, no. You go. I feel like, and I am one of the oldest moms in the class anyway, because I waited. For
No,
my
nothing wrong with
very
that.
last egg. but wasn't in a rush. But so I was really one of the oldest mums. But seriously, they like, oh, you know, they look at you like that poor bitch has had a hard life. And I know. But so I get called auntie a lot because, you know,
Yes.
because the others are, I'm not, let's say, I'm not as surprised as a lot of the other mums.
Are you fine with ma'am? Because I've been
With
called,
ma'am.
I'm at sir stage now. Afternoon. I've been called uncle as well, and sir. Afternoon, sir. How are you?
Yeah.
Miss, hello, miss.
Takes me back. It's a
That's
lot.
the next teacher you used to, sir.
Yes, but I'm not in that immediate environment all the time. So if I get called, I'm like, okay, that's weird.
I call everyone sir.
Yes, but it's different with friends.
Even me. Oh, you saw my little moustache? I didn't wax
Oh,
enough.
wow. Wow.
It's the maintenance.
I love how you dug me out the
It's
door.
like
Thank
Alan
you.
was not expecting that. No, ma'am. I'm like, oh no, please don't call me ma'am. The one I hate though is dear.
Yeah.
Dear,
Or
especially
sis,
it's
sis.
with no, well, I don't mind sis because in dietetics classes, so sissy like it's a mola sis,
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. But the and if old ladies call me dear, it's fine. But people younger
Yes.
than me, that okay, dear, I was like, do I look like a fucking Bambi? You know, it's not. Dear, okay, dear. I'm like, oh, God. It seems like such an old thing.
Another
just-
one is girly.
Girly.
Girly. Girly.
Yes.
Girly. Lovey.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I haven't been called girly for a long time on account of, you know, face movement.
Would you accept dear heart?
Dear Heart. It actually, do you know what Dear Heart sounds like? One of the Terry Pratchett characters.
Yes.
Yes.
Adorable Dear Heart. So I would accept that because she's quite badass, actually. Yes.
I struggle with daddy. I'm like, I'm not your father. It's
Do you get daddy?
yeah, from the random kids in the road. I'm like, no. This
You
happened
sure
once.
it's not?
This happened once. No, it's not. This happened once. This was a great moment in my life with one of my best friends. We were at the barber in retreat when I was still staying there, and we walked in. So it's
you went
You
to
go
where?
to a barber?
we go to the bar. Yes, before I started cutting my own hair.
Okay, right.
I could cut faders, guys. Okay, that number 2 on top, blade on the side. Before my hairline receded, right? So we still students I'm on the brink of receding now, and I go with him, and so it's the setup is you walk in, then it's hairdresser, then it's barber. Okay, so we walk in, we sit down, and this youngster, about 9 years old, comes to my friend, uncle. And he looks and he just pauses, and it's like this there all the time. So we're familiar with the space. Like, uncle, are you my daddy? And the whole barber and hairdresser goes quiet. And I look at him and I'm like, this is very random, bro. And then he doesn't answer because obviously he's not his father. And then as this pause is happening, the kid looks, uncle, I'm only joking, man. I know you're not my daddy. I'm like, this is a street smart lady. Like, well done. You're going to go far, kid. Well done.
He's like
I don't know how we got there, sorry.
stealing jokes from a comedian for hairdressing.
Yes.
Listen, I tried to cut my husband's hair yesterday, actually. I was quite surprised. He asked me. And he had a clippers. And he said, no, the hairdresser normally does like a number 2 and a number, number 1 and
So
number
he's
2.
got nice hair.
So I said, well, that seems very short with these particular clippers. He said, no, it is. And
If you're
Oh,
cutting
no.
2 on the side, that means you've got nice hair.
I don't know, it's hair, you know, I don't
'Cause
know.
you've got
but
nice hair.
I went with the, but he's using the face clippers. And I know for a fact that that's very short.
Oh,
So-
that's this, yeah.
yeah, so I went, okay, sure. And I went up the
Oh no.
You didn't put the clip on. Oh.
Elise is here, that's his cousin. You know what he's like about his hair. So I was like, because I went with the number 1 up the back, and this is one really short. I was like, woo!
Does he know?
Well, I kind of did the rest really short. I was like, well, you might have a breezy going on here. But I'd say, well, this is what you asked for. There's one strip that's,
Why would he ask you to cut his hair?
Because Fiona Furey, that's just the name, suggests that she can do
Can do all
anything.
things.
because I told him I'm a great hairdresser.
Right.
When you met, and now he's held you accountable to it. Remember 25
Do you
years
know what
ago?
it is? Yeah. No, I met. No, not that long ago. I've been cutting my dad's hair through lockdown, and actually doing a really good job. So I think
For your dad.
For my dad,
Yes.
because he's not vain, you know. He's been very happy with it. He's like, oh, thanks, sweetie, that's fabulous. Don't worry about the patches and everything. That's great. You know, he's not vain. So I think Wesley thought he'd give me a go. Give it a go. I was like, sorry. Thankfully, he can't see the back. He's probably watching now going,
That's funny.
anyway, so you're talking about your hair. So yes, I can do your number 1 and 2. I got to that story through you. I
Yes.
can do the number 1 and the 2. And
Yeah, this is, I mean, you learn when you're
Cheese kop.
balding, yes.
Yeah.
That just, because I can't pay $250 for a haircut like this once a week.
250.
come to my house, I'll do it.
Yeah,
for you.
like a
I'm
hair
doing-
machine's $1,000.
My
so
daddy pays like 70 rand. Where you going for your hair?
Very bougie. Sorry, don't. Coming to Boca Studio. No.
Come to my
'Cause
house.
Then
I'll
I
do
want
it for
a massage.
150.
I want a massage and a shampoo and a
You
neck.
want
I want to treat myself.
You want the pampering?
shampoo.
You work hard for these jokes. You can just. Even if they don't work, it's fine.
You're getting heckled.
No, I'm not. Just staring at him.
No, he's telling
I
me,
don't need to.
shut up, Taylor. I want to leave now, please.
Okay. Let's get to where you all are going to be for the next bit, because I see Alan's keen to wind up to finish.
No, I'm not keen to finish. What's happening? It's a busy couple of months coming up. I'm at Cape Town Funny. What's it called? Stuart's thing?
The Mother City Comedy
The
Fest.
Mother City Comedy Festival. I'm standing by. I think Conrad couldn't do Saturday, so I'm doing a gig at Artscape this Saturday. And then I'm off to Joburg with my new stand-up show, which will come to Cape Town in December for the Christmas season. That's Live and Let Laugh, No Time to Cry. And then I am in a new TV series on Mnet, which starts in a month's time, called Recipes for Love and Murder.
I was going to ask you about that. TV,
Yeah.
do you do like serious TV or comic TV? Because do you find, I mean, went back to my agent the other day. It's like, now I'm going to castings, and I'm quite, because the face moves, I'm quite extra. I don't think you probably didn't notice. But you go to castings, and they're like, okay, pretend like these things are going around, and there's these things buzzing, and they're coming in to kill you, but you're very serene. And I'm like, okay, sure. And I'm like, the casting,
Less is more.
Yeah, the casting director was like, okay, thanks. Well, do you want me to do it again? No. Oh, I can. No, it's fine. So for TV, it's
a different set of
it's
skills.
so drawn back.
Yeah.
So how do you find it? You probably just seamlessly go between
Well,
both?
not seamlessly. I think you learn over the years. But I've done enough television now and film to go. Your energy's internal, and you allow the camera to pick up stuff. You know that if people are, the trick is when you're rehearsing something, if people come up and disturb you because they think you're just having a conversation, then you're rehearsing properly.
That's good.
If they can see you're acting, that's you're doing too much. So
Okay.
you often, when you watch guys who've done a lot of television, it's like they're doing nothing. The conversation's right down here, and they're playing over here because they know the camera can come right in with lenses and with microphones.
Yeah.
So you don't have to push your energy out and be present on a stage in a way that you are when you're
Yeah.
performing in front of a crowd. So
It's a great note.
thank you.
It's a great note.
So it's something that you learn over the years, and you try and get better at it. You certainly don't master it all, and I don't do enough television. I went through a whole phase of doing that, but the thing with South African television particularly is that it's a constant struggle with compromise with time and budgets, and I mean I used to write. I remember writing a series called Those Who Can't, which was about teachers, and we did 3 series. And the third series went from the moment we got our new contract. We got a phone call. I was at Monty. They said, cool, you're a go for the 3rd series. It took 2 years before we broadcast that first episode. That's too long for me.
Yeah, it is.
I'd rather do a stage show where within a month of conceiving an idea, I can be in front of an audience and trying stuff out.
Yeah.
That's I want instant gratification.
And also you want the audience.
And I want the audience.
You want the
Yeah.
laughs.
So television has its own pleasures. And so it was nice to go back to doing it. It was written by a good friend of mine, Corin James, who I taught at Westford years ago. And directed by Christian Olwachen, who's a fantastic theatre director, and has done a lot of, he did Canary, the movie a couple of years ago that did so well. So it was fun, and I had lots of acting friends here in Cape Town who were part of it. So
Yeah.
it was really fun to do. So let's see how it turns out. That's the thing about television and film. It's a very different, we control what we do on stage.
Yeah.
And your output, if it's not so great on one night, you've got a chance to fix it again the next night
Yeah.
or to better yourself. In film
Yeah.
and television, you've got one shot to do it, and then you're left in the hands of 7, 8, 9, 15, 20 other people. Executive producers, editors, directors, sound editors, who all get to make their choices,
Yeah.
which create your performance. So sometimes you look up at that and you go, oh, wow, they've made me look amazing, or not so
Or
much.
That
Yeah.
wasn't my best take.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Cool. Dalen, you TV?
Yes, I never got to play in that series. I remember auditioning for it. Yeah, it was cool because it's a nice Cape Town-based cast as well,
Yeah, yeah.
which is lekker. It's nice when they
Yeah.
film stuff here and you see your peers flourishing. I love seeing that. Like, casting is always fun for me. Interesting space. I'm very comfortable with it now. I was very awkward at the start, but now I go, no, it's learning experiences being in front of the camera. If I can walk out of anything, being a better performer. Done some TV stuff, small stuff, some movie stuff. It was fun. I like that because it's not our everyday space. So if I can be behind camera, I'm like, yes, let's figure it out. I don't know if you have the same thing when you look back at what you've maybe done, small or big, you go, I wish I'd got it now. I've grown so much as a performer. I think I know myself better. So yeah, nothing coming up in the television space at the moment. If there are any directors that need just a waiter on 7 de Laan, I'm here.
That's
If-
That
I don't
one
know what
there.
camera. If there are, say to us. There, I can bring a tray in. I carry tray as well. Yeah, no TV stuff for now. But I got some stand-up shows happening. I was busy with the show Stay at Home Comedian since last year, and then yeah, I'm gonna be. This is weird saying this. I'm back on the road. I've never said this in a while because we used to travel regularly prior to COVID. So I'm in Oudtshoorn in 2 weeks' time. That's gonna be fun. Then I'll go Eastern Cape, Uitenhage, Gqeberha, Joburg, Bloem, Durbs, but 1 night, 2 nights. Yeah, let's see if we can get back to runs eventually.
That's nice.
And then do small spots in Cape Town and some theatre towards the end of the year. If they
Nice.
laugh.
Theatre, you see?
Theatre.
Shakespeare.
Theatre.
I'm just
Stand-up comedy at the theatre. I'm gonna do a soliloquy in my next show.
I would like to see that.
And then in this, I don't know. I'm saying this is written for Ellen Committee so I can get cast as Mercutio. So just, I'll do it. If that's,
What show is McHugh showing?
I have no clue. I just love his name, Lady Macbeth.
No.
Romeo
No,
and Juliet.
Romeo and Juliet. There we go. It's not about what you say, it's how you say it. Who said that? It's about the confidence. You can lie. That's how you teach the kids of South Africa.
Yeah.
Just lie to them and they believe
Thomas
you.
Edison said that.
There we go.
I don't know. I just do what
See,
you
you
said.
don't know. You don't know. My name's not even Dalen. I'm Stuart Taylor. Transformed in lockdown. It's great to be back.
Good. Brittany, where can we find you over the next few
Such
months?
colourful two gentlemen that they are. I will be heading off now in March to go and sing for one of our patrons in Tel Aviv for a couple of days.
You should bring Dalen with you.
Yeah,
Yes.
I
He's
should.
from there.
I
And
should.
Ellen. We can.
And then after that, when I come back, I am doing one of my dream roles, which is role number 3 or 4. It's Susanna in Mozart's Le Nozze di Figaro, The Marriage of Figaro, which we'll be doing here in Cape Town, and then we're going to Roodepoort to do it over there and a couple of towns, and we're going to be filming it for CakeNet, so it's going to be quite lovely. And then, yes?
Opera in Roodepoort?
Yes.
Joburg.
Yeah, where is Roodepoort?
Amazing. Yeah, no,
Somewhere
I'm not
there.
even being sarcastic. I didn't know.
Somewhere there. Pretoria?
That's
somewhere?
amazing.
I
They
don't
have-
know. I'm very stupid now here.
I never knew.
It's
I know there's a
somewhere
Roodepoort theatre.
I think it's there, somewhere there. It's somewhere. I have a feeling
It's in
it's
Graafrenet. On a farm.
Gauteng. Thank you, Auntie. Thank you. And and then I'll be there's like a number of concerts that we're going to be doing here as well. Singing some lovely British works and so on. And then a couple of concerts. There's a concert that I would love to do by myself at the Youngblood Theatre. So yeah, we'll have a look and then off to do freelancing next year. I'm also, I've been in a couple of adverts as well and stuff. So I also like doing the TV thing. So if I could do like a series or a short movie or something, then I would love to. So yeah, I'm an all-rounder.
Fab.
Just to confirm, you looked at me and said, you've been in a couple of adverts as well. I haven't been in any adverts, so yes, just no, I never get booked. I really just enjoy the experience. Just go. I just go. I literally just go. 10 years.
Oh my
Listen,
God.
10 years, not one advert.
No, I always get shortlisted and I always hear the same thing. We're not going to use you because you are short. The leading man is shorter than you. Always. Every time. Oh, sorry, we really like you. You're taller than the leading man. Even if it's like a female-driven part, you're taller. Well, if you want to work with fucking midgets.
About
Fine. Why
About
am I like
4
male
years
actor
ago,
so short?
my agent, who I haven't done castings for a long time, so I used to do a lot of castings when we first started. I just don't
Yes.
do that anymore. But anyway, Janet phoned me and said, just to let you know, there's a brief going around town at the moment, and they're looking, on the brief, they're looking for an Allen committee type. And I said, well, I should probably audition for that. And they went, they don't want to see you. And I said, but I'm pretty much an Allen committee type. I mean, I'm about as Allen committee as you're going to get.
Yes.
Yeah.
And apparently it wasn't good enough. And they wanted someone else who's more like Allen committee.
Did you audition?
No. They
You
wouldn't
should have
see
just
me.
gone.
They didn't want
That
to see
makes
me.
no sense.
That makes no sense.
And that happens regularly. You'll see your friend's face on the brief and go, hey, are you auditioning? No, what do you mean?
Yeah.
They're looking for a person
Like that.
like you,
Like
but
that.
not you.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're looking for someone like Fiona Furey, but 5'1".
Right.
From Roodepoort.
From Roodepoort, if we know where that is.
Yeah.
We can't find her because we don't know where it is.
3 tall
Guys,
witches.
the
That'll
geography
be-
was never my
Yes.
strong point.
Me, Laverne Cox,
Sure.
and someone else.
Sandra.
Rosenberg.
Prinsloo.
Prinsloo.
Prince.
Nice.
Yes, she's got the eyes.
Has she?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, there's me too.
You're very small.
For a
Just-
witch.
Yes.
You're too young. You're not premenopausal. We want like 45 plus bitches.
Do you sweat anytime? That's the main thing.
She's not Prince Andrew.
As by my parents on Sunday, my mommy sweated all day.
For menopause.
Just stood still.
No. Can I just tell you, it's the best thing. We're laying, because we're laying at home and mother's in bed.
There's
and
my mother there
late,
as
late. And you just hear beep beep. You know the Russell Hobbs fan, that fancy fans. Beep beep. Shoo, you're a devil. Shoo, svarm. Shoo, svarm. Maybe you can cast my mom. That would be cool.
Yes.
We can do that. Mummy, where are you? Are you in? Do you want to play a witch?
You can fly on a sloffy or a wooden spoon.
And on that happy note, that brings us to the end of the show. Big thank you, my guests, Allen Committee, Brittany Smith, and Dalen Oliver. Thank you, fabulous audience. Next week we have 3 tons of fun, so do tune in for that. Also, we have spaces available in the audience, so if you're in Cape Town, come and join us for 3 tons of fun. I'm Fiona Furey. Thank you very much for watching.